Hi, I'm Jim Stroud, and this is my podcast. Can I ask you a personal question? Are you lonely? A recent study by Cigna suggests that you are. They surveyed more than 20,000 U.S. adults 18 years and older and found out that nearly half of Americans sometimes or always feel alone. 1 in 4 Americans rarely or never feel as though there are people who really understand them. 2 in 5 Americans sometimes or always feel that their relationships are not meaningful, and 1 in 5 people report they rarely or never feel close to people. Why is this? Well, I don't know for sure, but I will speculate after this. Entrepreneur Kylie Jenner makes an estimated $1 million per sponsored post on her Instagram, which makes her the highest paid celebrity influencer on the social media platform, according to the 2018 Instagram Rich List compiled by Hopper HQ, an automated Instagram scheduler. Jenner is followed by singer Selena Gomez, who gets $800,000 per sponsored post, and star soccer player Cristiano Ronaldo, who earns $750,000. Together, these and other up-and-coming stars contribute to the $1 billion influencer market, which is expected to double in value this year. Now, all that is great until there is an Instagram bug and you lose over 1 million followers, which happened to Kim Kardashian, Justin Bieber, and several others. If it could happen to them, it could most definitely happen to you. The moral of the story? Don't build your house on rented land. I suggest you do what I did and get your own mobile app with Superpass. Superpass makes cutting-edge content apps easy, instant, and affordable. So whether you already have content or are looking to start making money by selling your podcasts or videos online, Superpass can help. So sure, build up an audience on social media, but drive the traffic to a property you own, and that property should be Superpass. For more information, visit Superpass at www.superpass.app. That's www.superpass.app. Superpass.app. And be sure to tell them Jim Stroud sent you. My gut reaction as to why so many people are lonely was that it has something to do with social media. So I looked around for some research to back up my instinct and found an article on NPR which quoted Brian Primack, director of the Center for Research on Media, Technology, and Health at the University of Pittsburgh. And this is what I found out. Quote, while face-to-face social connectedness is strongly associated with well-being, it's not clear what happens when those interactions happen virtually. To investigate, Primack and his colleagues surveyed 1,787 U.S. adults aged 19 to 32 and asked them about their usage of 11 social media platforms outside of work. It turns out that the people who reported spending the most time on social media, more than 2 hours a day, had twice the odds of perceived social isolation than those who said they spent a half hour per day or less on those sites. And people who visited social media platforms most frequently, 58 visits per week or more, had more than 3 times the odds of perceived social isolation than those who visited fewer than 9 times per week. And further down in that article, it says this study can't nail down causation. It could be that when people feel socially isolated, they go online a lot in an attempt to feel less lonely, says Primack. Or it might be that spending a lot of time on social media makes people feel isolated. What makes loneliness such a concern is not just the personal feelings associated with it, but the very real physical ailments that accompany it. Psychology Today had this to say about it. Loneliness has been associated with cardiovascular problems and premature death. Lonelier individuals are less likely to achieve quality sleep. Lonely individuals experience reductions in reasoning and creativity. In addition to these reduced abilities, loneliness affects workplace productivity as lonely individuals report less job satisfaction and are more likely face unemployment. Loneliness is commonly correlated with mental health concerns such as anxiety, depression, and suicidality. Loneliness is also associated with poor coping mechanisms such as compulsive technology use, smoking, and self-harm. Loneliness is a very real issue in need of a very real solution. At least one entrepreneur believes they have an answer. Can you guess what it is? Probably not. So let me save you some time. Jade Stanley creates sex dolls that have the same height, size, hair type, and even body scars of someone dead that you once loved. Jade Stanley talked about her dolls on the TV show This Morning. Here's a clip.
First, though, losing someone in your life can be incredibly hard to cope with. But would you ever consider having a sex doll made of your former partner?
Well, that's just one of the many things that you can request from our first guest today, who sells sex dolls made to your personal specification.
But is there anything that's off limits? Well, we'll find out now as we chat to Jade Stanley. Welcome. It's very, very nice to meet you. You brought someone with you. Who is this?
Yes, I have. This is Amelia.
This is Amelia. OK, so she's one of the dolls that you make and sell.
So Amelia's actually from my generic range. So
Right.
she's like buy-off-the-shelf doll. So.
OK, fine. So how did you get into this? Where did this all start? Because it was an article, wasn't it, you were reading?
Yes, I read an article I did about a sex doll brothel. And, yeah, it just got me thinking about the industry. There'd been a lot of news in the press about sex dolls. And I just saw an opportunity, basically. It's basically just a business to me. That's all it is. I have no gratification from it myself. I just saw an opportunity to do something with what I thought may be a niche gap in the market, but turns out isn't so niche. It's actually huge. It's a multi-billion-pound industry.
Sex dolls notwithstanding, alternatives to Jade Stanley's dolls were discussed on WebMD. Some of the suggestions made a lot of sense to me. Suggestions like training school children in social skills to prevent them being lonely later on in life. Older people were being advised to prepare for retirement socially as well as financially. And then community planners were encouraged to include spaces that encourage people to gather together, such as a recreation center and community gardens, things like that. And I think those are all good suggestions, but I'm really curious the most about what you think. What do you think is the best way to get out of this lonely trap? If you love what you heard, hate what you heard, or don't know what you just heard, I want to know about it. You can leave a comment concerning this podcast on my website at www.jimstroud.com. In addition to finding source material and related information for this podcast episode, you'll find other goodies that I hope will make you smile. And if you have not already, please subscribe to my website. Your continued support keeps this podcast train chugging down the track.